Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 501, and we're live in Southwest Florida, specifically in my tropical backyard. And if you're joining me live, please say hello. There is, of course, there's construction next door this morning. I've already been to the beach and couldn't find parking. And now we have this here today. This is crazy. I don't know, it makes you wonder what kind of signs, what kind of sign is that, right? Already been to the beach and couldn't get parking, and now here, and we're gonna have loud construction noise. Anyway, sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches and realize that it's just ingredients of lemons to make lemonade, right? But if you're joining me live, please say hello and we'll see what happens this morning. Hi, Grace and Becky, Lily, Lucy, Christine, Chantel, Grace, Barbara, Cherie, Carrie. What do you think of this color? Is this the most gorgeous beverage ever? I'll tell you all about it in a minute. I have discovered an ingredient called pitaya. Does anybody know what pitaya is? It is another word for dragon fruit, and apparently you can buy it frozen for smoothies, or you can buy it freeze-dried for smoothies and beverages. And I recently discovered it while at a raw juice bar getting one of those smoothie bowls, and it's dragon fruit. It's dragon fruit that's also called pitaya, and I found it freeze-dried on Amazon. So I put I think I put 1/8 of a teaspoon in a glass of water to make this color, and I am just so in love with it. And if I can drink hot pink healthy beverages all day long, what a beautiful world that is to me. So it doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. I ended up putting a little bit of lemon juice in it as well. The website described pitaya or dragon fruit as an earthy watermelon flavor. But with the amount that I put in, it is so mild, because I only put 1/8 of a teaspoon of the freeze-dried in a tall glass of water. So it's such a small amount that I don't know if you're getting a full flavor per se, but it's the color. Yes, I did add it to my Amazon shops, Melissa, I did. It's from a company called Pitaya Plus, and it comes freeze-dried in 4-ounce bags. I can't get over the color. So for me, making iced tea or adding it into water or sparkling water just makes such a gorgeous, gorgeous everyday beverage. And then I do make smoothies and smoothie bowls with marlin with it as well. But then I add other fruit to it and make it, a thicker consistency. It has magnesium and iron and all sorts of other health benefits, and it's considered a superfood. So I figure between the bright color and the health benefits, that is definitely a win-win for me. Yeah, it definitely looks like a yarn color. I love dyeing in that color all the time. You know that. I am a huge fan of hot pink. So now that I can drink a healthy beverage that's that color too, that's just really exciting to me. What else? Let's see, keep saying hi, I suppose. Hi, Judy and Tammy and Annette. And Lisa. Beetroot's not exactly the same color, Annette, and it doesn't have the same health benefits, but whatever you like is your prerogative. Whatever you prefer to drink, that's fine. I just recently discovered this and I'm having fun with it. Doesn't mean that what anybody else does isn't great too, so no problem. I discovered it through the health benefits and just happened to find out that it's amazing color too. Yes, Jill, it's the color that I was very, very excited about. Tammy wants to know what I'm making. I am experimenting with a swatch to see if something's going to turn out. I have a stitch pattern in mind, and I'm debating doing a circular style of increase or a corner style of increase, meaning, okay, so think in terms of when you're making a hat or a circular motif, you figure out what your rate of increase is going to be. So let's say you're going to do 8 increases, and you would increase 8 times around each round. So it'll be in every, so the space between those increases grows. So when you're making a hat, it'd be great to have my board. We should do this conversation in my studio. So when you're making a circle, you've got your, like spokes of a wheel, you've got your rate of increase lines, and you, as you grow your circle, you're only increasing in those 8 points, and you're only doing a singular increase, not a double increase, and so it ends up growing in a circular form. When you're growing in a square or other shapes, square, triangle, hexagon, octagon, you're doing a double increase in a specific number of spaces for whatever shape you're doing. So for example, a triangle, you're doing a double increase in 3 corners. A square, you're doing a double increase in 4 corners. Hexagon, you're doing a double increase in 6 corners. So that's completely different than working a single increase in, say, 8 or 10 spaces. So it's not quite corners when you're doing it in the circle formation, because the double increase is what really gives you a hard corner, and a single increase is much softer, and that's how you're able to create that smooth curve of a circle instead of corners. Does that make sense? We can talk about that again when we're in the studio, so that I can use the board and draw it out for you. Lisa, does it make sense to you? Barbara, yes, it makes sense. Tammy, yes. Yeah, so single increases are a softer increase, and double increases are a harder increase. So when you want to create corners, you use a double increase, and when you want to create a curved line increase, you would use the single increases. Well, baby Bjorn wants to say good morning. Hi, honey. Did you want to say hi to everybody? What you thinking, buddy? You don't like that noise, do you? I don't either. It's really loud, but you're being brave. Yeah, you're being a brave kitty staying out here in the loud noise. Sorry, I can't help myself. I gotta baby my kitty. Does anybody have any questions about what we were just talking about with the single increase and the double increase? Because it is really important information, especially when trying to figure out what kind of a shape you want your increasing motif or increasing larger scale piece to be. Cherie understands? Great. I'm glad that that translated well without visual tools. That's awesome. But you've done all of them, right? So if you've made a hat, you've done single increases to create a circular motif. And if you've made square motifs for an Afghan or another type of a project like that, you've done double increases to create hard corners as well. So even if you're not the one making the choices of what, as the designer, you've actually made all of them before. Hi Nancy, thanks for joining live. Well, hi, baby Bjorn. Thanks for joining live. You want to be included today, don't you? Thank you for joining us. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Do you have something to say? You look like you have something to say. Sweet baby. What is this cat breed? I am not sure. Both Bjorn and Becker are brothers from the same litter, and they are both rescue cats. They were abandoned at 2 weeks old, starving in a box in a McDonald's parking lot, and I've had them ever since, so it's been about 5 years now. They are similar looking, but not identical. Apparently, before we adopted them, they had a sister as well who looks Siamese, but they both look predominantly tabby to me. They both look predominantly gray tabby cat to me, but I don't know. I've had some people tell me that they look like they could be from this breed of cat that's Egyptian. I can't think of the name of it right now. It's an Egyptian breed of cat that has some of the qualities of a tabby cat, but a little bit different too. Shoot, I can't think of the name of it. And when we looked it up, we found that they did have quite a few of the attributes of them, but I don't remember. I can tell you that they're sweethearts, though. Yeah, an Egyptian Mao. That's what somebody told me before. Somebody, or actually quite a few people had suggested that. I think when we first started the podcast, that they could be Egyptian Mao, but whatever they are, they're a mix. They're definitely, I mean, they're just, I don't even know if they were feral when they were found. They weren't even sure if they were domesticated at that point, but the lady who found them did do a lot of work to domesticate them within a couple of weeks, and they've just been the sweetest pets in the world ever since. So who knows? They're just so incredibly sweet. Sweetest kitties I've ever seen in my life. So, am I worn out from yesterday? Do I look worn out? I don't know. Yes, I'm actually worn out from yesterday. It was a long day in order to get everything done, to get that pattern and videos and all that stuff out yesterday. I ended up putting in an 18-hour... I ended up working 18 hours yesterday and then decided to get up an hour early this morning to try to get to the beach for sunrise to do a Create Zen video. Crazy. So after working 18 hours yesterday, I decided to get up an hour early this morning to do a Zen video at sunrise at the beach. And there was already full parking at sunrise. Like, it was still kind of dark out. And I was like, oh man, I could have used the extra hour sleep the day after an 18-hour workday. But anyway, everything happens for a reason, so who knows? Oh, you sweetheart, what are you doing? So who knows what that's all about. But anyway, we're here, we're live. Somebody asked if I've read the comments from yesterday's video yet. I have not read all of them yet. There are lots of them. I hope some of you have gotten a chance to read them too, because a lot of the comments not only are appreciative of the things that I've done, but they're also very complimentary to all of you. They speak of our community that we've created through the podcast. So if you get a chance, I think that you might really enjoy reading them as well. Later today, I will be going through them completely and then choosing winners for prizes and doing all that stuff. And it's going to be a lengthy process because as of last night, there were 190 comments already. So I've got a lot of people to contact, because not only will I be giving out lots of prizes in yarn and books and stuff like that, but I will also be giving a free pattern to every single person who left a comment. So that's going to be a lengthy process. It may not all happen in the same block of time, but I will do my best to get all of it done as quickly as possible. Does anybody have any other questions? Oh, Raina liked the video on the sleeves yesterday. Wonderful. So did Barbara. I made a 3-part video series. You don't like that noise. Go ahead. I'll just wait. I don't need to talk over him. This is nuts. I'm not wearing a dress. I am wearing a beach cover-up over leggings, but it kind of looks like a dress. funny story. It's actually a hand-me-down. I know you guys know I love hand-me-downs. It's a hand-me-down from my sister. When she moved out of Florida, she gave me some of her beach cover-ups because she used to go to the beach and wear cover-ups all the time. And she gave me 2 of them the last time she moved, and one of them's white and it's this black one. And I wear this one as a top over leggings all the time because I love the elasticized waist and I love the cutout sleeves, and it's a little bit sheer, so I really need to wear more than a bra underneath it, and I've got a sports bra on this morning. Yeah, it is super cute and super comfortable too. Good morning, Carmen. Lily wants to crochet or knit a sweater. Yeah, that sounds fun. I love crocheting and knitting sweaters. Hi, Thea. Good morning. Sorry to anybody I didn't get to say your name, but sometimes these scroll pretty quickly, and then when I talk and Oh, I'll get back to my swatch. Where was I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I love tops with a cold shoulder too. I don't know if they're still in style or not, but I still like them. So I actually don't really pay close attention to the style gurus when I really like something. And I really like the cold shoulder tops. Yeah, the birds seem happy despite all the construction noises this morning. Isn't that funny? And the kitties. The kitties haven't run inside. No one's really freaked out by the birds. I'm annoyed, or by the construction. I'm a little annoyed, but none of nature is. And I'm taking that as a sign that I maybe need to calm down. Christine's asking about winners. I just explained that I will be doing that later today, but I'm not sure what your question was. So if it's something different than when, please feel welcome to ask it again, because I'd be happy to try to explain what the deal is. Oh, you can hear me with the noise. Thanks for letting me know that, Rita. What's the deal? Thea wants to know. I don't know. What is the deal? Maybe I'm catching a side conversation. Hi, Althea. Thanks for joining live. Yesterday I said I wanted to do it live. Well, I don't think I can do it live right now because I can't see one video while doing a live for another. Thea wants to know winners of what. So yesterday was the 500th episode of the podcast, and I said anybody that wanted to leave a comment on yesterday's video and either share what their favorite episode was or share a story about how something that happened in their life because of the podcast, or leave a comment suggesting something to add to, take away from, or change about the podcast, or whatever. Any comment was fine, and I will be randomly choosing winners today for people to win yarn and books and all sorts of other things. And then when all of those prizes are randomly chosen, then everybody remaining will also win a free pattern. So everybody that comments on yesterday's podcast will win. I did also say that I was going to choose it after the podcast had been up a whole day, so it's technically not quite up a whole day yet. If I can announce the winners live, I will, but there's no way I could do it during this podcast because the winners haven't been chosen yet. So sorry about that, if that's what your interpretation was of what I said, or if that's what I said, who knows? But yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it quite yet. But I will start working on it later today, and as of last night, there were 190 comments already, so it will take some time to go through all of it and do all of it all by myself, but I will. Yeah, Thea, you should watch it. Yes, absolutely. And I also released 3 new tutorial videos yesterday on crocheting sleeves on a dress. Thanks, Pamela. Oh yeah, some of the flowers in my backyard are similar to the color of my drink. I agree. No wonder I like it so much. Brenda likes the sleeve pattern. Cherie says the tutorial was great. Wonderful. Oh, you know what happens when you don't pay attention? Yep, I didn't do this right. That's what happens when you start talking in the middle of a project. 6, 3, 6, yeah, there we go. Oh no, I did do it right. You know what, I'm not established enough in this pattern to be working on it while talking. I think that's what it is. And I think everybody can relate to that, right? Has anybody tried that before? Like take a new project with you to a knitting or crochet meeting group or socializing with friends, and you're in the beginning of a project and you realize you need more concentration than that to actually get established in the pattern. That's where I'm at right now. Like 3 more rows from now, 3 more rounds from now, and I could do this, you know, without paying attention. But I'm in those first couple of rounds where it's like, I need a little more concentration than that. And I even think that I did it right, and I just didn't realize it. Because the other thing is, when you're working with fine yarn, sometimes it does, before it's blocked, it doesn't always look the way it's going to look when it's blocked. The stitches don't quite look the way they're going to eventually look, and that can be hard to recognize. And then when you add variegated yarn on top of it, it actually makes it a little harder still to even recognize. Not that I'm complaining about any of these things, but I'm saying them out loud so that you realize when something seems difficult to you, these are the reasons why. So I'm, oh goodness, did I do it again? Yeah, I'm gonna have to set it down because I said I was gonna do single increases 8 times around, or double increases for a circle, or 4 double increases in this round to do a square, and I ended up doing 4 single increases, so it's not gonna be anything. Yeah, in a craft group, when you bring a new project to a craft group, oftentimes you make mistakes or you set it down and say, I'll have to start this again. Christine couldn't find the video for attachment of the sleeves yesterday. Well, there are 3 parts to the video, and they're all in a playlist. So if you go to the demi sleeve playlist, if you're signed up to my mailing list, you got a link to all 3 patterns, plus you got a link to the playlist. If you went to the free pattern page on my website or the ad-free PDF download page on my website, both of those linked to the entire playlist on YouTube, and in that playlist are all 3 videos. The first 2 videos are for crocheting, and the 3rd video is for blocking and sewing the sleeve to the dress. So hopefully you're either signed up to my mailing list or you've looked in those other places, and you should be able to find all 3 videos then. Thea saw the videos. Thank you. That's Passionate Plum colorway in Be So Fine yarn. Do I have a date planned to release my new book yet? Last 2 days I've been more focused on the 500th episode of the podcast and releasing new videos, so I don't have a date right now, but I might be releasing the pre-order next week. That's what I'm shooting for. Christine saw too. Well, keep looking. If you look in the places that I mentioned just now, the 3rd video is with the other 2 in those places. Yes, Carrie, when you go to a crochet group or a knit group, you take 2 projects, one with concentration and one without, depending on the conversation. That's a good tip. Yes, thank you for all the excitement about the new book. I'm super excited to share with you as well. And yeah, so hopefully next week I'll have some of the pre-order up. Lily saw the 3rd video. Great. Thanks, Christine. Does anybody have any other questions? Nancy, it is fun. I agreed. Melissa's excited for the new book too. Yay, me too. I'm so excited too. Do I have a pattern in the Knit Vibe book by Vicki Howell? I do not, but I was not asked to design something for the book, but Drew Imborski, the crochet dude, was asked to design something for the book, and he chose my yarn. So technically I am a yarn contributor to the book, and it's to make a boho bag with some fringe in Be So Tender yarn. Super cute. But great question, yes. And I do have an interview out in another magazine. I'll be releasing a blog post a little later this morning. And there's I think it's a 7-page interview with me and book review of Layers Crochet in an online crochet magazine. And I'll be sharing that blog post. I'll probably be releasing it right after the podcast is over. So if you want to go to my blog, it'll be the most recent blog post in about an hour. Yeah, it's a really fun interview. She asked lots of I've been interviewed for 15 years for different publications, and some interview questions are pretty similar, and sometimes people ask the same things. But she asked a lot of really detailed questions, and it was really fun because I got to really dive in and explain the method to my madness for several different aspects of my business and design process. She asked a lot of questions about how I made Layers Crochet book, and so it was a lot of fun to answer her questions, and I think it makes for a really interesting interview. And you can I'll have a link to that in that blog post, and as soon as the blog post is written, it just isn't published yet, so as soon as we're done here, I'll publish that. It's not a listen one. It's going to be a written one. It's in an online magazine. All right. Well, we are almost out of time, so I will pick a quote from the Create, Share, Inspire notebook, issue 6. Let's see where we're at. Oh, I like this one. This is from Andrew Carnegie. There is little success where there is little laughter. Isn't that wonderful? Always remember to have fun, right? Having fun is the key to happiness. And honestly, from what Andrew Carnegie says, it's also one of the keys of success. And it just always makes me remember the only day we're promised is today. So what is the definition of success, right? Definition of success really can't be too many things far in the future if we're really only promised today. So what is the definition of success today? Happiness. So I don't know, it kind of comes full circle on itself pretty quickly when you start thinking about it. So thank you, Andrew Carnegie. There is little success where there is little laughter. I love that. So making time to have fun, be silly, or do something that makes you smile is certainly important. And when you remember that the only day you're promised is today, don't put off doing something fun or doing something sweet for yourself. It's worth it every single time. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes with me. I hope you enjoyed my beautiful backyard, talking about design and the little show and tell, chatting with me and everyone else here. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you all tomorrow. And don't forget, go read my blog post in about 20 minutes. Thank you. Bye-bye.